Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 9. Right back to Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in these playoffs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a give left side, Brown with it. Past the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. 59 yards for him already. An excellent drive to kick off this divisional round matchup. That might be an understatement. Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, 1st and goal. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chase Brown, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
2nd and 10. Motion man is Schwartz. Here's Tua. His throw incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Motion man is Schwartz. From the gun, it's Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable. And sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy check downs. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Open man is Waddle, complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. He was so vital in their wild card win a week ago. 8 catches in that game. This is his first one in this affair. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Griffith. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? They'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Andre Yoshibas. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have taken the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Anthony Schwartz going to bring it out. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Now Tua signaling to change things up. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Right's got it. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. They'll try and run for this with Wright. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's taken in by Dulcich.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Tua going to give this to Wright. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, they'll stay with Wright on the ground. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Now a 2nd and 6. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Second and 6. Tua going to throw. Flush to his right. Boy, took a real chance with that one, but it's incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Tua. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
No sign of Tua departing. 4th down, they're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's 2nd and 8.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 67 yards. And the
the Jets will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to pass. Tua. And his throw is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Motion man is Schwartz. They'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
That's going to be caught by Waddle. Room to maneuver at the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Complete to right. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Here's Tua. That is caught. Oh, he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far, and that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 27 yards there, a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Looking to throw. This will be caught by Brown. some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
88 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Another run for Brown on second down. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. It's Griffith. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Brown. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Second and 5. Touchdown! Chase Brown. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Jets continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field and what was a fairly innocuous play call.
They'll run on first down with Wright. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Tua sets up to pass it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Greg Dulcich from 8 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 2nd and 6. And he is going to lose yardage here. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Third down, here's Brown. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You can have the first one for the second one to even matter.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 35.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the fourth quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. 2 and a throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. A give up the middle to right. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. The 2 are going to try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now, their friend, as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. 106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Here's a give to Bigsby.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Handing it off to Brown.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this third down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
Third and 4. Back to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
So the Jet offense staying on the field. They're going to go for 2. Now they'll change things around before the snap. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10. Throwing, Tua. Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now Tua. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
And he will get into the end zone, and a two-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And now the Jets are going to get this one, and that might be all she wrote. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.